Welcome back to the Ultimate Seattle Sports Show, and it's great to have with us Rob Rang, over 25 years analyzing the draft, and Chris and I have asked him some very tough questions this morning. Now we kind of want to throw the net out a little bit wider across the NFL and see some other moves and maybe some local talent as well, because I do want to ask you about Huskies running back Jonah Coleman, as we brought up in the last segment. Chris, it's always fun to have this guy.
Well, what I love about Rob, he's very confident, too, on his picks. He made 6 picks for the Seattle Seahawks. We asked him how many he's going to hit, ball. He's going to go 6 for 6. He says, right, Rob? Is it 6 for 6?
Of course. That's what I'm looking for, absolutely.
I love it. I love it. Well, we're keeping an eye on the NFC West teams. You know, Arizona will make that pick at, as we speak, number 3. Are they going to go with a running back there?
I think that they very well might. Jeremiah Love from Notre Dame is one of the elite players in this draft class, as you'd expect for anybody who is being bandied about as a possible number 3 overall. But he is a phenomenal talent. And so it would make an awful lot of sense for Arizona to select the running back there. It would just be kind of the centerpiece to the offense that they are looking to build in Arizona. Of course, allowing Kyler Murray to leave. So they need a complete overhaul. And so if you take Jeremiah Love there, and then as we talked about in the last segment, that the Arizona Cardinals might be a team that'd be willing to trade up to select the Alabama quarterback Ty Simpson, or if they just stick and pick at number 34 overall. Either way, with a new running back and a new quarterback, I think the Arizona Cardinals might be trying to scratch their way out of the cellar in the NFC West.
You know, we've heard a lot and read a lot about the 49ers and the Rams in the offseason, and the way the Rams have certainly bulked up to counterattack the Seahawks and the things they fell short on last season. But when you look at this draft, are you still going Fernando Mendoza, number 1 overall, to the Raiders?
I am. I just think that's the slam dunk pick. It's the only one I really feel confident about, is that I just don't believe that Clint Kubiak would have left the plum situation that was the Super Bowl champion Seattle Seahawks to go to Las Vegas Raiders unless that he had a quarterback who was an ideal fit in his system available to him. And Fernando Mendoza, in my opinion, is that perfect selection for the Raiders.
Okay, Rob, looking at the first round now, what are some teams? Name some teams that we should keep an eye on. I know a lot of people have been talking about the Giants with Harbaugh, them trying to make a statement with this draft. What are you looking at in this first round?
Well, certainly if the aforementioned Jeremiah Love, the running back for Notre Dame that we just talked about, is very possibly going to the Arizona Cardinals, number 3 overall, if he is available to John Harbaugh and the New York Giants at number 5 overall, I really do think that makes an awful lot of sense. And speaking of those Giants, of course, they made a very splashy trade of big Dexter Lawrence, the Cincinnati Bengals. That gave the Giants the number 10 overall selection. There's not a defensive tackle in this draft class, guys, that is like a Dexter Lawrence. But one of the things that John Harbaugh has done in the past is he has tried to build up the offensive line. Miami's Francis Maui-Noah, to me, would make an awful lot of sense at number 10 overall. And if Jeremiah Love is not available, again, when you think of John Harbaugh, you think about some of those safeties that he has brought into Baltimore. Caleb Downs from Ohio State is my personal top-rated player in this entire draft. And so if he were available at 5 or perhaps even at number 10, because some people don't value safeties as much as Harbaugh and I do, apparently, then I do think that he would be a home run selection for the New York Giants at either spot.
Yeah, man. The Buckeyes, when you look at these mock drafts, it feels like the Buckeyes have like 4 or 5 guys going in the top 15. They're pretty impressive coming out of college. I got to ask you this. Another guy coming out of college, we've talked a lot about Denzel Boston in this offseason. Jonah Coleman intrigues me as a running back because he's so big and strong and great after contact. It's projected as maybe a 2nd or 3rd round pick.
Yeah, and he is my favorite consolation prize, so to speak, if the Seahawks don't go with a Jadarian Price from Notre Dame and with their first selection. Jonah Coleman just unfortunately went through a little bit of an injury-plagued final season at Montlake. But when you look at his 2024 tape, guys, he is just unbelievable back in his ability to bounce off of contact. I mean, he's kind of a Sherman tank kind of a player. Short, squatty, huge thighs. and just bounces off of contact. He's got good vision. The one thing that he doesn't have, Paul, is that elite straight line speed. That to me is something that Jadarian Price has a little bit more of in justifying that selection. But Jonah Coleman, I'm a huge Jonah Coleman fan. Think that he could be very successful in the NFL and would not be surprised at all if he wound up being a member of the Seattle Seahawks.
Yeah, he knows how to sniff out a touchdown or two. Rob,
Yes,
probably not in your notes. It has been mentioned on this show when Denzel Boston was 12. His Little League coach told him he should stick with baseball, not go to football. As you can see, he's possibly now a first-round pick. I was the Little League coach, but tell me, where is Denzel Boston going to end up? We've seen some mock drafts have him heading to Cleveland. Where do you think he's going to go?
Yeah, I think that he would make an awful lot of sense for the Cleveland Browns. Cleveland is interesting. I mean, Cleveland's always interesting, it feels like. But they've got 2 first-round selections this year, guys. And if they don't take the Ohio State wide receiver, Carnell Tate, to Paul's point, seems like we're talking about a lot of Buckeyes. But if the Cleveland Browns don't select Carnell Tate with their first selection, which is number 6 overall, then I do think that one of their consolation prizes might be Denzel Boston. And I hate to use the expression consolation prize to describe Jonah Coleman or Denzel Boston. They're terrific players in their own right. But again, questions about straight line speed is one of the things that could push Denzel Boston down the board a little bit. But he's 6'4". He catches everything that's thrown in his zip code. He has got great lateral agility for a guy who's 6'4". Maybe that's that baseball coach who kind of taught him those types of things.
Thank you, Rob.
But he has the talent, I believe, to be a superstar in the NFL.
I don't think I taught him anything, Rob.
Well, I don't think I've ever heard that story about a 12-year-old Little League coach. Golly, it's like I got it memorized now. Rob, is there anything else that intrigues you about this draft as we go ahead into the week?
Well, Seahawks fans aren't going to be thrilled with my mentioning that the Los Angeles Rams are looming as a real contender here to steal the Seahawks crown. And so to me, one of the huge areas in which Seattle was better than the Rams a year ago was, of course, the play of Rashid Shaheed. And everybody can remember the electric return for a touchdown, but also his ability as a runner on reverses and as a deep threat. There is a receiver in this class, guys, that the Los Angeles Rams, I think, would be crazy not to consider, and that being Kevin or KC Concepcion from Texas A&M. The guy is just an electric playmaker. I think that he would be a real interesting fit for the Rams in the first round. We know what a player that Matthew Stafford is, as well as, of course, Puka Nacua, Devontae Adams. You add this type of playmaking ability not only to the Rams offense, but their special teams, and suddenly you have Sean McVay has the same type of a big play specialist on the return game that the Seahawks employ with Rashid Shaheed.
Okay, finally, Rob, I know there's going to be anywhere from 3 to 5 Huskies possibly selected. Any other locals that we need to keep an eye on? Former high school kids from this area. You always have just a great eye and insight on this. Any other names that we need to keep an eye on in this draft that could go?
Well, they got the guard from Penn State is also a first-round slam dunk. And he played at Graham Kapowison High School and just a terrific talent. He played left guard at Penn State. I think that he is going to be an easy first-round selection. I think that he makes the most sense with the Pittsburgh Steelers, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I have Tampa Bay, because they have the earlier selection, they're taking the Graham Kapowison superstar.
Okay.
Well, man, a lot to look forward to the rest of the week for sure. Rob, I can't tell you how much we appreciate you coming on, man. I mean, Chris and I have talked to you for years, and it's great to have you on going into this NFL draft and hearing all of your insight.
Thank you so much, gentlemen, for having me. It's always a pleasure.
All right, Rob Rang, Fox Sports draft analyst, and doing this for over 25 years. You can hear the expertise, just about everything that man says, that's for sure.